I'm in southern Spain, I've got one day with the car, on days like these, boys, on days like these. How do you approach this then as a sort of sensible, objective exercise and try and discover what's different about this car?
I just think it's a celebration of Veyron. This is the last Veyron that we're going to see. It's the high speed, it does the numbers, it's been proven, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing what 1200 horsepower feels like, because 1000 feels pretty amazing to me.
I know, it's remarkable. The claimed performance figures, 0 to 186 miles an hour in a little over 14 seconds.
Yeah.
I can remember when a car that did 0 to 100 miles an hour in that time was considered to be really, really fast.
Yeah.
I think it's a total recalibration, isn't it?
It is. Well, it was when it first arrived. I can remember doing a group test with an Enzo, my Zonda and stuff, and then this thing rocked up. It just made everything look silly. I'd just never seen anything, performance on such a grand scale as the original Veyron. And I know with 1000 horsepower it can hurt when it sort of hooks up in second. You think, whoa, what's going on here? And then it's got 1200 horsepower. Lord knows.
It's a funny car to be in the presence of as well, because sometimes I look at them on the page and I think they're a bit cold and unemotional, and I can see why other people have, like yourself, have more esoteric Italian stuff. Yeah. But when you're in the presence of it, in this naked carbon finish, it's undeniably the item, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't need any explaining. Every enthusiast knows what it means, and this is the ultimate version. No, I just can't wait.
Right, to allow me just to talk you through the first few minutes of being acquainted to this Supersport world record car. So there's only 5 of these ever going to be built. Quality, the quality is exceptional. You just bring your little bucket seat a bit further forward, bring the wheel back to meet you. Look at that, look at the amount of adjustment there is on this wheel. It's huge. Come back towards you. Tiny speedo to 430 clicks. Rev counter is redlined at kind of 6, 7, something like that. It's not too much, but just quality. A lot of matte black finish in here. It feels more expensive to me than the first Veyron I drove. Yeah, I just let rip in it for the first time then in a straight line and just kept my foot down, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
as Philippe said, it's just a set of numbers. Yeah. You just put your foot down, you will get the numbers, it's inevitable. It's just a question of how big the numbers you want them to be, really.
Yeah. It's funny how turbo it is, then, how it feels behind the wheel.
Yeah, and
you've got to have some revs on board.
And it does feel spikier than the standard car. Yes. It feels like there's a bit more lag, it waits a little bit longer, and when it comes in, you've really got to have your wits about you. The frustration comes with the fact that every time you want to have a go, you've got 2 to 5 seconds, depending on just how naughty you want to be. 2 seconds will spit you into kind of jail territory. 5 seconds makes you one of the fastest moving objects in the continent you're in, and that's a hell of a responsibility to have on board, and therefore it's difficult to choose your moment. But I also find it frustrating because I don't want, that surge is addictive, and when you feel it squeeze the small of your back, you think, oh, I'd like a bit more of that.
Well,
I'd like a bit more of that. Yeah, I'm always surprised how I sort of dismiss the car on the page of a magazine or in a video and say, I remember it being amazing, but it's not emotional enough and all this other stuff. But the moment I get in it, perhaps there is a point at which straight line speed is so compelling you can't ignore it,
Yeah, if you're going to have one trick, it's one hell of a trick to have.
Yeah. Every time someone accuses it of being too civil, I'll put them in a straight line and pin it to 300 clicks. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, and I totally understand. If you want a GT3 RS, as I personally do, then go and have a GT3 RS. But if you've got 100 million quid sitting in the bank and you want the fastest car ever made, no question. Now, I've been here before because the last time I drove a Veyron, everyone said, is it worth the money? And I rather confounded everyone who thinks I'm a complete cynic by saying, you know what, it is. I can't draw any other conclusion than to say that the Supersport is worth 2 million quid, because there is nothing else like it. And if you provide the only thing in the marketplace that will do something like this, then you deserve to charge the money you want. I think it's extraordinary because it actually feels even more aggressive and more of an occasion, more of an event than a standard Veyron. So yeah, what a privilege to just drive the bloody thing.